This story is a creative retelling inspired by the legend of the female general. All characters and events are adapted in a fictionalized form for narrative and artistic purposes. This video is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or representative of the original creators or rights holders. From the very beginning, He Yan's life was not her own. Born a daughter, yet forced to live as a son, she carried the name and burden of her brother, He Rufei. Behind a cold mask, she endured whips and wounds until she became the feared General Fei Hong. But her victories were hollow. At Mingshui, she arrived too late. Xiao Jue and 30,000 soldiers were already lost. His son, Xiao Jue, branded her unworthy, and the stain of that battlefield scarred them both. When she returned home, betrayal awaited. The true He Rufei emerged, reclaiming the glory she had earned while she was cast aside, blinded and left to die. Yet fate spared her. Saved by her master, her sight restored, He Yan cast away the mask that bound her. For the first time, she chose to live not as anyone's shadow, but as herself. Now, as Xiao Jue defies the court with nothing but his will, and the empire teeters on the edge of war, He Yan takes her first step into a new life. Her past may be built on lies, but her future will be carved by her own sword. He Rufei, still hidden behind his mask, once attended Xing Chong Academy, where even Master Wei questioned why his face was always concealed. Calmly, he replied that it was not shame, but mercy, that his appearance might startle others. It was there that Xiao Jue, the second son of the Xiao family, first appeared, late yet unshaken, his exceptional bearing leaving an impression on all who saw him. Years later, fate wove their paths together again. In the military camp, Xiao Jue crossed words with Cheng Lisu, the proud disciple of the Imperial Medical Bureau. To Xiao Jue, Cheng Lisu was nothing but flashy things, a useless ornament in an army with no room for idlers. Coldly, he offered him a choice: return home for an arranged marriage or be sent away. Cheng Lisu, frustrated, lashed back, yet beneath the exchange lay another truth. Cheng Lisu was Xiao Jue's nephew, a tie of family that kept him by his uncle's side. Meanwhile, far from their quarrel, He Yan prepared to walk the path of soldiers once more. Her master, Liao Buwang, bestowed upon her a new identity, a household register under the name He Yan, haha, a single character different from her former disguise as He Yan. It was both a shield and a promise. She would march forward no longer as her brother's shadow, but under her own name. Yet the army's gates were guarded by trials. New recruits were to be stripped bare, examined for strength and health. For He Yan, this was a danger she could not face. But fate opened a narrow door. A high-spirited mare, fierce and untamed, threw Cheng Lisu into the dirt. The camp was in uproar, but He Yan moved without hesitation. With steady hands and a soldier's instinct, she calmed the beast, using a technique only the Fuyu army had ever known. Xiao Jue, watching from afar, took note. His eyes narrowed. Was this recruit truly who he claimed to be, or an agent sent by He Rufei? The head instructor, Shen Han, praised He Yan's rare skill and excused her from the humiliating screening, ushering her directly into the roles of the army. It was a victory she desperately needed, but one that came at the cost of Xiao Jue's suspicion. That night, Xiao Jue spoke with his aide Fei Nu. Feinu urged that the recruit be eliminated, but Xiao Jue was not so hasty. One spy can be killed, he reasoned, but another will take his place. Better to let him live and lead us to the true hand behind Ming Shui. For even now, the shadow of collusion between He Rufei and the Prime Minister Xu Jingfu loomed over them. In the capital, Xu Jingfu's disciple, Chu Zhao, fanned the flames. He spread word that Xiao Jue had flooded Q City, sacrificing tens of thousands for his own glory. Lies and slander draped the general's name in infamy, even as the emperor's trust in him waned. But Chu Zhao played a deeper game. With wounds he inflicted upon himself, he won sympathy from his master, and with careful plots, he seeded pawns in secret corners of the empire. Back in camp, He Yan joined her fellow recruits, men hardened by banditry, punishment, and hunger. Among them, she was the outlier, frail from past injuries, her body weaker than her spirit. Still, she endured. She stumbled through laps that broke her breath, faltered in archery, even dropped her spear to the laughter of others. Yet she always picked it back up again. And that quiet, stubborn resilience did not escape Shen Han's watchful eyes. Xiao Jue, too, studied her from afar. Her background showed no trace of nobility or military ties. A simple gatekeeper's son from Jiazhou, or so it seemed. Still, her horsemanship, her instincts, her skill with twin blades, none matched the life of a commoner. Was she feigning weakness, or was she truly broken? As night fell, He Yan sought solace by the hot springs hidden in the mountains. The water wrapped her weary body in warmth, and for a brief moment she let herself be at peace. Here, she reflected on the life she had lived as a shadow. Her triumphs claimed under another's name, her face hidden even from the moon. But here, in this new life, she would carve her honor with her own blade. She closed her eyes, believing herself alone. But then, footsteps, a presence she could not mistake. Xiao Jue. She sank beneath the water, holding her breath, the silence pressing against her ears. Yet Xiao Jue paused, his sharp gaze cutting through the steam. He was not a man easily deceived. He knew someone was there, and so, under the cover of night, He Yan's secret teetered on the edge of discovery. With Xiao Jue so close, the mask she had worn for years threatened to shatter. Will she keep her secret, or will the truth surface at last? Find out in episode 3. This story is a creative retelling inspired by the legend of the female general. All characters and events are adapted in a fictionalized form for narrative and artistic purposes. This video is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or representative of the original creators or rights holders.